In a galaxy millions of light years from Earth's own Milky Way, there exists a solar system inhabited by humans. These humans are very distant relatives of those from Earth, but neither know of the distant connection between them. In fact, neither know of the other's existence. This will soon change. One man, Jake Stone, will soon discover the horrible truth of the distant and long-forgotten past of his people, and possibly also learn how to speak English as well. Incoming message. Stone here. Go ahead. Greetings, you are Jake Stone, the bounty hunter? That depends on who you are and what you want. Who I am is not as important right now. If you are who I think you are, I have a job proposal for you. I will not speak of the details over a long-range communication channel. Apparently I'm a nerd too. There are many who are listening in. We must meet in Sector -31-1. It is not too far from where you are. I will be there. The rumors are to be believed. The ugliness of you puny beings is more than repulsive. I needed to see for myself before leaving this system what your race looks like. Now I know. You are disgusting. Who are you? I am Commander Grimlack of the 4th Squadron on Lys. My people are from the solar system you have named Rygian. As far as I know, this is the very first visual contact any of your people have ever had with us and live to tell about it. So what brings you here? I am here to analyze the technology of your people and determine if your species would present a challenge in a war. I have traveled your system for days using a cloaking device to avoid detection. There is only one other nearby solar system. It has only one planet found in Sector -1055-9696. There is minimal life there and is thus unworthy of our investigations. That is why we are focused on your people. You are more ugly. Why tell me this? I feel free to tell you this because the technology of your people is no threat to us. To declare war on your system would result in the destruction of your species. With the uprising of rebel forces in your system who attack and harass the government, there is no chance of your people even organizing a significant attack on us in the next century. What rebels? What? Must I tell you of the unrest in your own solar system? In my detailed survey of your system, I discovered a large number of people have risen up against your government. The reasons for the uprising has something to do with rumors of government attacks on civilians. The rebels organize attacks on government installations and are causing a great deal of confusion. It has now come to the point where even non-government ships are being attacked. And their phones are constantly going off all the time, every time they just start recording something, because Lord knows they can't be bothered to not have people calling them all the time. Will you declare war? That is not for me to say. Don't worry about it, though. It will be quick and painless. We are not a cruel race. You are more ugly. More ugly than what I see on my screen? That is very difficult to accept. You are a vision of such repulsion that I will terrify my children and grandchildren for decades with fireside stories of the hideous beings from the stars. Damn. I think he owned my ass right there. Why might I live? You will leave because I do not want to draw too much attention to myself here at this time. You alone are no challenge to this vessel, but 20 or 30 of you may pose a threat. After this discussion, I will cloak and you will never see me again in this solar system. All right, well then, shove off. Good luck to you and all those things. Exclamation, everybody, and welcome to Solar Winds. So this is an interesting little DOS game that I remember playing way back in the day. It's this is episode 1, which is called The Escape. It was always released as a freeware, even though it says shareware version on there. It was always freeware. In fact, you could actually go on their old website. In fact, if you look in archive.org, their old website's up there, and they actually had a link directly to their FTP site that where you could download it, although that doesn't work anymore. It's by Epic Mega Games, well, published by Epic Mega Games, and which doesn't necessarily exist in its same form anymore, and developed by Stone Interactive. Again, another thing you'll never hear again, probably. It was a cool little DOS game I remember playing back in the day, so I thought, why not take a little break from all the hubbub and crazy pants stuff that we've been doing and just have a little nostalgia trip, shall we? Alright, this is the guy we gotta talk to, so communicate. Greetings, bounty hunter. I have heard so much about you, and that is the reason I wish to speak to you today. I have a small job which requires a man such as you. Are you interested? A man such as me? You know what I mean. A man of strength and skill. Someone who's not too squeamish about using a little force in certain circumstances. If you know what I mean. What do you mean? Why hire me? Yeah, sure, why not? I'm interested. Excellent. The job consists of collecting an escaped criminal. This man is extremely dangerous and will stop at nothing to escape the law. You'll find him near sector -6, -7. You will be paid when the fugitive is returned to me, or I have proof that he has been destroyed. Your payment will be an E-band converter, which directs the energy of E-particles into your ship's reactor core. One of the largest sources of E-particles is a reactor explosion. Okay. I accept the mission, I guess. I am pleased to hear that. I will expect to see you soon. And that is that. Okay. So, the interesting thing about this game, besides that it's an old DOS game that you can't really buy anymore. It's abandonware. Although I did see like some listings for it on, Amazon and stuff like that, where you could get the old whatchamacallit, the old 3.5-inch discs. This first episode was always free. When you bought it, you got both this episode and this second episode, I believe, at the same time. They were all packaged up into a nice box and all those things. Where am I supposed to go? -6, -7, which is not the way that I am going at all. I'm going the complete opposite direction of where I need to go. And what's I don't think I've seen any other game do this. You look at this and it kind of gives you shades of like Space Pirates and Zombies, maybe a little bit of Drox Operative and all those things. This is not really any of those, honestly. It's got this weird and interesting mechanic that I've never seen anything used since then, where you manage your entire ship via the power systems. So let's see, -6, -7. Okay, I'm still going the wrong way. I gotta go this way. So what happens is, if I go under engineering here, you see I have all this power distribution. In fact, I should probably turn my shields on because they're off by default, and that doesn't really help you too much. And everything's keyboard driven. There is a mouse. You can use the mouse for it, but since I'm running it in a DOS box, it's easier for me to just do this. And we are about to get attacked, I think. Nope, we avoided them. Okay. You'll see it says 65, I believe, gigawatts there. And that is your reactor capacity. And what happens is, after we encounter this guy, once we get this E-band converter, basically what it does is every time you destroy another ship, it converts their energy. It basically takes the energy that's left from their reactor and applies it to your reactor, and then you get a larger power reserve that way. And then the larger power reserve then allows you to assign more power to your shields and more power to your engines and all that stuff, and that's how you essentially level up. And then, of course, later on, when we get a hyperdrive and we go to another system, that hyperdrive eats up a lot of the power that you had built up. So you have to sort of... Killing things actually helps. It's like a progression system that I don't think I've seen anybody really do before, where it's just entirely based around your power management. In fact, you do have hull strength and stuff. Like if somebody shoots your shields, your shield power goes down, but your shields don't actually take damage. It's just power that you have to reallocate to them as you go. And then the only thing that really takes damage is the hull, and that will repair over time. There's like you can see a little green square over my ship. That's how my hull health, and once that goes to black, you're basically dead at that point. But as long as you have power in your life support system, it'll regenerate your hull over time, and it's kind of a weird, interesting way of going about it. I don't think I've seen anyone do this before. The one really nasty thing about the game, though, is the alt for fire and the control for missiles. Missiles are a very limited commodity, so they really should be on alt, I would think, or even spacebar, and not the actual fire button, which is your weapons. It makes for some interesting. It's kind of a weird way of putting your fingers on things, and there's no options menu. I mean, it's the options menu is basically you hit configure and it says, do you want music? Do you not want music? You've probably noticed that the music is really, really loud. It's loud enough that I actually don't have my headphones on. I put my headphones in the drawer because it goes up to 12, basically. You've heard of music going up to 11? Well, this one goes up to 12. And there's no controls around changing that. So I will do you guys a solid with headphones and make sure that I reduce the sound of the game as we go. But yeah, it's it's very there's a lot of creature comforts that have been sacrificed, but yet this game pretty much ran on anything that was a VGA display. So because it's like 640 by 400. All right, that was enough of that. Wait, don't shoot. Please hear me out. I need to speak with you. All right, I will listen. Now I will begin by telling you that I'm not a criminal, as I'm sure you've been told. I'm a scientist, and I need to return to Titus. I cannot tell you why, but I can make it worth your while and allow you to satisfy Cain at the same time. All right, well, how do you know Cain? Emir Cain works for the government and is not to be trusted. He wants me dead for political reasons, which I am not allowed to tell you at this time. I love that. It's like, I'm not allowed to tell you why he wants me dead, the political reasons, even though I just told you he's a politician, he's a political leader, and you didn't know that. But it's okay. I must survive and get to Titus. I have a plan that will benefit you and me. All right, what do you offer? I'm going to offer you only the location of people who need the services of somebody like you. I have no other valuables to give you. All right, what's the plan? If you transport me to Titus, a moon of Majolus in Sector 1413, I will give you the locations of people who need your services. I will also set my controls autopilot after I'm on your ship, and you can destroy the vessel. Cain will hopefully believe I am dead, and you can collect your fee. Will you agree to this plan? Yeah, sure, why not? I accept. Excellent. I will transport to your ship immediately. Transport me to the surface of Titus in Sector 1413. I will give you the names of your contacts when we arrive at Titus. My ship is set for autopilot. It's up to you now. Okay. All right. So the ship is for autopilot. I'm gonna show you what the combat's like. It's a bit weird and kind of broken. You'll see what I mean in a minute here. But I'm gonna go fire on this guy, and I need to not be in a spot where he can shoot me. Oops, okay. Now you can see the CPU is very hung up on Whoops, spinning around, and actually he's getting some good hits in. Because I am getting ahead of myself here. But yeah, the computer gets very hung up on spinning around and in a circle. And that's kind of the hard part of the game, is that all your battles will be like, okay, I'm spinning around circle now, spinning around circle now. And the computer will get behind you and just keep firing away at you. And then you have to sort of like dodge a little bit here and there and try to get to where you need to be. Speaking of, let's go, and I don't have any available reactor power, so so my shields can't get regenerated or anything. So that's another thing that's why you need this other thing enabled. And this guy wants to come and ruin my day, so I'm gonna leave him be, because I want to go back and get the power plant regeneration thingamajigger, so I can get my shields back up and all those things. You can see the shields are the little halo around your ship there. You can see I've got forward shields for the most part, but my aft and my left shields are very, very low. Aft shields are actually gone. And I might have taken some hull damage, but it's hard to tell because it's just a colored gradient on a very, very tiny square there. Where do I have to go? I have to go to -31, +1. Alright, so we're at -31. Now I just gotta go to +1, which is probably this way, right? No, wait a minute. No, I see. I'm all discombobulated. This is the one part of the game that always drives me nuts, is that I'm always going the wrong direction. No matter how often I think I'm going the right way, it's always the wrong way. All right, and then we'll come to a complete stop with the space bar once we get to this guy. There we go. Communicate. Greetings once again. Is the deed done? And here you can see sort of like the almost like an RPG-like thing, where it's like I can rat out the guy and say, oh, I have him on my ship, or I couldn't find him, or one of those things. But I'm just going to play along and say I destroyed the ship, because I did, technically. Yes, I detected destruction of the ship. I am pleased. I give to you the E-band converter as payment. I hope to do business with you again in the future. Goodbye, bounty hunter. Alright, so we have this E-band converter now. And actually, if I wanted to, I think I could actually go and kill that guy if I really wanted to. I don't know how hard he would be to kill, but I could do it. Now, before we get attacked by other things, I want to go to my cargo hold, and you can see my scientist is there. I need to transport him to that place, but I also want to hit use on my converter. So the E-band converter is now on, which means as we defeat enemies, I will get more power, and I'll be able to recharge my shields and all these other things. And now I gotta go grind just a little bit, not too much. I'll stay with you here, but you can see if you can get like right behind the computer like this, like right at the right speed, it doesn't know how to handle that. A lot of times it'll just fly right in a straight line. So, and then if you get multiples attacking you like we're about to, yeah, you get multiples attacking you, it actually works out better in your favor because they'll actually hit each other, as you can see. If you get them far enough apart, and you're swinging around here, they'll actually hit each other and destroy each other for you. So that works. If I can just get them to separate a little bit. Not quite. Oh, there he goes. There was a good shot. It's just you gotta get them to really go after one another, and you really want them to be in sync as you're going here, because otherwise it's makes for a very, very difficult thing to avoid their incoming fire. All right, and unfortunately most of the battles are just what you're seeing here, so it's I'll probably cut out a lot of them because they do get very, very repetitive, but it's nice to see what is there. If I can just get these guys to accidentally attack each other again, will be good. Come on. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Alright, I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to encourage them to take some damage here, I think. I also gotta make sure I don't get shot myself. I can't hear. Obviously, I don't have the headphones on, so I can't hear if I'm getting hit or not. I just have to keep my eyes on the screen. See, they're damaging each other quite well. Now, up in the top right there is the type of shields that they're rocking and the type of lasers that they have. Everything is denoted by sort of graphical glyphs, and I couldn't tell you what one's better than the other one, honestly. Even back in the day, it's like this never really. There's like a manual, sort of, but it's not. In this version, in the shareware version, it was just like a couple screens are just like, here's how to play, and then that's it. But the little red bar beneath where it says Imban, the name of the ship, is their hull. So that's how I know whether or not we're getting some shots in. Okay, that one's down. And now we can get in behind this guy and stay behind him. We'll be all set. There we go. Excellent. Now you can see from this screen that my that thing that I activated has gathered 60 more power for my reactor. So we're up to 102 power. So now I can just go into engineering, and using the letter keys, I can go and recharge my shields, which really need it. I like to get them up as much as I can here. So we'll do a little bit more, and a little bit more, and then we'll get some more power to the engine and a few more in the sensors. That'll help us with our map here. And the rest I'm going to dump into weapons and life support. So get our hull repaired. Excellent. Okay, now we've done that. Missions, we're going to go 14, 13. So we're going to get a move on here. We'll go at max speed. Let's see if I can get on over there and transport this guy down to the surface. Alright, we're approaching 1413, which is this little planet here, and all I gotta do is go into my cargo hold and switch to the guy that's sitting there in my cargo and hit transport. There we go, and then communicates. Thank you, my friend. You have shown yourself to be a man of your word, and I will keep to mine. Go to sector -43, -15. There you will find people in need of your services. Alright. So be it. Somewhere in the solar system. Someone is starting to interfere with our activities. Make sure that this problem is taken care of soon. That is all. You may leave. Ooh, I'm stirring the pots. Stirring the pots. Let's see what our mission is again. -43, -15. Alrighty then. A lot of the game is me just moving between areas, so I'll return once we get over there. Alright, we're approaching the planets that we need to find this guy on. It's right there. Communicate. Or girl, whatever it is. Ah, yes, I have been expecting to see you. I was told that someone would be arriving to help. I understand that you may be interested in some work. Well, we have a fairly risky job that must be carried out, and we do not have the resources to do it. The task will require you to deliver a small package into a fairly dangerous region. Are you interested? Am I interested? Of course. What region is it? The region is Sector 6, -16. It will be the asteroid which is emitting huge numbers of alpha particles. This will be a dangerous mission because of the large number of rebels which have been seen in the area. They have killed any who approach and have become much more ruthless since rumors of government lies and sabotage got out. Are you interested? What's the payments? We can supply you with armament for your ship in return for your services. 15 dumbfire and 5 heat-seeking missiles should be more than sufficient payment. Yeah, that's actually really, really good, honestly. Okay, I will accept the job. Okay, I'm transporting the device to you. Remember, transport the device to the asteroid emitting the alpha particles in Sector 6-16. Return here when the task is done and collect your fee. Alrighty then. One more thing before we go here. The Z and X, I didn't talk about this yet, but you can zoom out and see the galaxy versus the, well, I guess this would be the cluster. This would be the galaxy, so on and so forth. These are all, solar systems that are around here, things like that. But that will do it as I head on over to our next mission here. That will do it for this episode of Solar Winds. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time.